They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. Dances by him. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. This is Paul Perkins, a Chandler, Arizona native. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The numbers for Perkins on the ground a week ago. 19 carries, 66 yards.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
From the gun, it's Manning. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here's Perkins on first down. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They go with Perkins again. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to pick it up with Perkins. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll set up to throw. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius. I do admire that he went for it.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now Palmer. And that's off the mark, incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. That'll bring up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's Johnson. Broke through some contacts, but unable to reach the 40. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They go back to the ground with Johnson down right around the 25. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 2nd down, here's Palmer. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the 1st quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the Cardinals have the 1st points. It's 3-0. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The drive starts with a run by Perkins. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his 1st step. Again, they go to Perkins. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Palmer now to throw on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ross. So 1 quarter in the books here on Christmas Eve. 3-0 is our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Palmer will throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They go play action now. Palmer, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And Dawson's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. We remind you, no night game tonight on Christmas Eve, but we make that up with 2 games under your tree tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. Yes. I'm just reading the card. I got to give props to our writer, Ed Brady, there. But we start with the Steelers and Texans at 4:30 Eastern, followed by the Raiders and Eagles, a Super Bowl 15 rematch. You impressed that I know that?
I'm very much impressed that you know that. Who was the MVP?
Yep, that'll be at 8:30 Eastern from Philadelphia. Now Manning throwing on second down to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Perkins on the give from Manning. A second fake. How did he stay on his feet? And they do finally get him at the 12. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 44 yards. Nothing fancy there. A little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the second.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Marcus Golden in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Manning, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dayon Buchanan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, I was there at the Combine when John Ross ran the 4.22 40 and just lit up the entire place, and that's all we were talking about. But when you watched him on tape, you saw his ability to separate with his route running, not just pure speed.
By the way, that 4.22 40, that's the fastest ever recorded, is it not?
Fastest one ever recorded, but I know a couple of guys are saying, I still ran faster. I don't know if it was hand-timed or not.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Manning, and the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Manning going to give it to Perkins. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Brad Wing now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ross. And he goes out right around the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, Palmer. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 6 there on first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ross. And he goes out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Dawson's kick is good. Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We've got some football to get to. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. Blake Bortles with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And that's complete to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with second and just 2 yards to go.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. On the give, it's Perkins. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. He finds Beckham complete. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Manning able to find OBJ there for a Giants first down.
You know as well as I do, it's really important to get Odell Beckham Jr. involved early. And that's the first time that Eli Manning was able to find him, and we're in the second half.
You think he and Eli maybe had some words on the sideline? Hey, let's get on the same page.
Without a doubt, because they know that that kick starts their team. That gets them going. And now they have to do it again and again as we go down the stretch.
So 2nd and 10 here. Working from the gun, Manning toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Now Palmer. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd down, Palmer. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free. Brings up 4th down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped, and he's into the clear. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Giants. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And the lead is down to 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now to return, this is David Johnson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Now Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Palmer on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Throwing now, Palmer on first down. And Green with a catch left side. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right?
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Dayon Buchanan in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Manning to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Shepard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Giants on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. The Giants on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 14. On play action, it's Manning. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time running out here on the play clock. On second down, Palmer escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here's Palmer to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, it's Palmer. And this is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, you know, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And New York set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
On second down, here's Manning. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Manning going to give to Perkins on the draw. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short game. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Manning, gotta have this one. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing.
David Johnson on his way. And now touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
And New York set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. but they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it, make them do it again.
Shotgun now for Manning. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he's brought down after a good gain. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. On first down, Manning. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Manning to throw on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. On third and long, it's Manning. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Pushing the foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Manning now on first down. Right back for Marshall. This time it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Manning going to throw, and his pass incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on it a little bit more.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Manning throwing on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Again, they'll throw with Manning. It's hauled in by Marshall for a Giant touchdown. Brandon Marshall, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
After review of the play,
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And the Cardinals have got it. So that should just about put an end to this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Down to a knee goes Palmer, and that should wrap this one up. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Palmer. Oh, he's going backwards. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games that much.
The season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games,